Okay, we're by the time I'm done this sentence, it'll be 6 o'clock. So we'll call the meeting to order for 6 o'clock. Just to note that this is, although the committee is in person and the staff in chambers, this is a hybrid meeting. So throughout the meeting, during the public portion, we'll be calling for anyone in the virtual audience that wishes to speak to be able to raise their hand and they can come into the meeting. All procedures and rules of order stay the same as if this was a fully in-person meeting. So with a call to order, first item up is the adoption of the agenda. And looking to staff, no changes or updates. So can I have a motion, Deputy Mayor, to adopt as presented, seconded by Councillor Ennis. Any comments? Call the question. Now in favor, please raise a hand. Thank you. Motion is passed. Disclosure of pecuniary interest. Any disclosures this evening from the members? Seeing none. Approval of the Committee of Adjustment minutes dated December 12th. Committee members, any errors or omissions noted in the minutes? I would look for a motion to approve the minutes as presented. Mr. Broderick?
Yeah.
Seconded by Ms. Willis. Call the question. All in favor, please raise a hand. Motion is passed. Moving into the public meeting, the first item up is D13-001-2023 from 5100 Front Road. And staff, you have some notes to present.
Through you, Mr. Chair, the present minor variance application. So the applicants are requesting permission to increase the height of an existing non-compliant detached garage, which is an accessory structure, by 0.6 meters. The increase in height is desired to raise the foundation of the detached garage and to reduce the slope to provide proper access from front row for the purpose of parking. There is no change to the existing footprint of the structure, as it is the increase in the volume, that is the height of the structure, that has triggered this permission application. The property is located on the north side of the front road, east of the village of Stella on Amherst Island, and the property has water frontage onto the Ontario. Currently, the property contains an existing dwelling and a detached garage. The existing garage located at 5100 Front Road was in existence under the previous zoning bylaw, and its use has continued since that time. The existing footprint of the garage does not comply with the current zoning provisions, as it is encroaching within the 15-meter floodplain line setback. As per the section 4.11b, and is encroaching within the 7.5-meter front yard setback as per section 5.22 of the current zoning bylaw. As a result, the existing dwelling is a legal non-compliant use, and the application for permission under section 45(2) of the Planning Act is not subject to the 4 generic tests as we do in minor variance under section 45(1) of the Planning Act. However, the basic intent of the application remains the same. So through that provincial policy statement, both the county and township official plan were reviewed, and the proposed development will be located outside the stable slope and erosion allowance, but is within 6 meters access allowance. So CRCA was contacted, and in this case, CRCA policies and guidelines can permit a reduction of the access setback for the proposed development, since the garage will not further encroach into the setback and access is not further restricted. Therefore, CRCA has no concerns from a standpoint of natural hazards. The application was also circulated with the Engineering and Public Works Division, and it was determined that the existing structure is known to be directly downstream of a road cross culvert and may be prone to flooding. Because of this, the engineering division requires a grading plan for the proposed reconstruction of the structure. The applicant and owner have been provided with this comment and they are in agreement with this comments. Lastly, the application was also circulated to building division and there have been no comments from the standpoint of the septic system. Therefore, staff is of the opinion that the proposed development meets the general intent and purpose of the county and the township official plan, as well as is in conformity with the policies of the provincial policy statement. Zoning considerations were also made, and the proposed height is 4 meters, which is maximum permitted height for an accessory structure as per the current zoning. And since there is no change in the existing footprint of the structure, the requested permission will not pose any implications on the character of the neighborhood and streetscape. Therefore, staff are of the opinion that the general intent and purpose of zoning bylaw has been satisfied. The application has been reviewed by internal departments and vetted through local agencies to ensure compliance with all the above criteria. The notice of public meeting was distributed in prescribed fashion, which involves personal notice by mail to all property owners within 120 meters, and as well as the notice was posted on site. There were no comments received by member of public. So based on this and based on all the rationale provided before, planning staff is of the opinion to approve the minor variance application of permission. Thank you.
Thank you. Committee members, any questions for staff? Seeing none, we'll open it to the public within chambers. If anyone wishes to speak to this application, please step forward. Seeing none, we'll go to the virtual audience. If there's anyone in the virtual audience that wishes to speak. No hands are raised. Thank you. So with that, we'll come back to the committee. We have the report with recommendation. How do we wish to proceed? Mr. Town.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair, I move to receive the report and adopt the recommendations, which are the 2 subject conditions to approve.
So moved. Seconded by Ms. Willis. Any comments from the mover?
Only that having lived opposite the property for some time, I totally see why they're wanting to do it, and it'll certainly help us because that particular property has trouble with parking, has to park on the road. So I'm sure this improvement will be to everybody's benefit.
Thank you. Seconder, any comments? Seeing none. Anyone else? Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor, please raise a hand. Motion is passed. The next one is D13002 2023 for 4970 Bath Road, minor variance. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I'll be presenting this application as well. The applicant, Brent Smith, on behalf of the owner, is requesting a minor variance from the township zoning bylaw as amended to reduce the floodplain line setback from 15 meters to 8.5 meters, reduce the rear yard setback for a deck from 8.5 meters to 6.75 meters, and reduce the north interior yard setback from 5 meters to 1.22 meters to facilitate the construction of a deck in the rear yard and a carport in the interior north side yard of the subject property. The property is designated shoreline residential in Schedule C of the township's official plan and is zoned shoreline residential in zoning bylaw. The property is located on the south side of the Bath Road and has water frontage onto Lake Ontario. Currently, the property contains an existing dwelling and associated residential development. There are some significant and contributory woodlands located on the property. Since this is an application of minor variance pertaining to Section 45, one of the Planning Act, it should comply with all the 4 tests, and the analysis was done accordingly. And as part of the review, the application was circulated to CRCA, and CRCA concluded that the proposed deck and carport will be located outside of the erosion hazard limit. The deck stairs will slightly encroach within 6 meters across the allowance. However, CRCA policies and guidelines can permit development associated with uses that by their nature are located within the hazard, such as stairs, which provide access to the shoreline, to be located within the shoreline erosion hazard. CRC also recommended proper sediment and erosion controls be incorporated into construction plans, and that the maintenance and enhancement of a healthy buffer of native vegetation between all the building and structures and the water be maintained to help stabilize the soils. The application was also circulated with engineering division, and a condition was provided to submit a grading plan for the proposed structure as a part of the building permit for the carport to be located on the uphill side of the building to establish finished floor elevations, apron elevations, and ensure maintenance of positive drainage. These comments have been passed along to the applicant, and the applicant is in agreement with the comments. The proposed location for the deck and carport will not cause disturbances to the surrounding area. The use is recognized in both the official plans, and the proposal does not appear to conflict the urban area designation in county and shoreline residential designation of the township official plan. Therefore, staff is of the opinion that the proposal is in compliance with both the county and township bylaw and the provincial policy statement. For the zoning considerations, both general provisions and zone provisions were reviewed. The encroachment on the 15-meter setback of the 1:100-year flood line has been satisfied through consultation with CRCA to ensure that natural hazards associated with the shoreline of Lake Ontario were appropriately considered. As there are no natural hazard concerns nor any effect on the residential nature of the property or neighboring properties, staff are of the opinion that the general intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw have been satisfied. The requested variances are considered an appropriate development of the property for the residential purpose and are not considered to impact the general nature of the surrounding area or aggravate natural hazards. And lastly, the variance can be considered minor as the location of the proposed deck and carport maintains all other zone regulations. The reduction will not cause any natural hazard concerns and will not negatively affect the residential use of the property or surrounding properties. So for the above reasons, planning staff is of the opinion that the application is also minor in nature. The application has been again reviewed by internal departments and vetted through local agencies to ensure compliance with the above criteria. And the application was, or rather the notice of the application was distributed in prescribed fashion, which involves mail to all the owners within 120 meters and was also posted on site. At the time of writing the report, and as of today, no comments were received by a member of public. So for this reason, all the reasons mentioned above, planning staff is of the opinion to approve the proposed minor variance application. Thanks.
Thank you. Committee, any questions for staff? Mr. Carter.
Through you, Mr. Chair. I just have one, just for my own information, the map on page 24. Just a general question. That property line I see there, who is that property? I guess it's south of that towards the water. Is that owned by the same property owner, or is that a shared sort of waterfront access? Or see what I mean? So I follow the dotted lines, right?
Yeah.
Is that a property line? Because on one point it says property line record legal. You see that? Sort of bottom right hand.
Yeah, through the chair to Councilor Broderick, that it would indicate that that would be Crown land. Technically, over the years, maybe they encroached into
Fine,
water.
I just wanted to make sure it belonged to somebody, obviously. But
Yes.
okay, thank you.
Thank you. That address your questions.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the committee? Seeing none, we'll open it to in chambers. If there's anyone in chambers that wishes to speak to this, please come forward. Seeing none, we'll go to the virtual audience. Anyone in the virtual audience that wishes to speak to this item, please use the raised hand feature and we'll bring you into the meeting.
We have Nicole Hancock, the applicant, on here, but she hasn't used the raise hand feature.
Okay, might just be observing. Thank you. So with no one to speak to this, I will come back to the committee. We have the recommendation with the report. How does the committee wish to proceed? Mr. Bruder.
Approve with conditions?
So moved, seconded by Ms. Parks. Mover, any comments? Seconder?
No.
Anyone else? Call the question. All those in favor, please raise a hand. Motion is passed. The next is D 10-003-2023 at 11 Cross Street for severance. Please proceed, Mr. Avnish.
For you, Mr. Chair, I'll be present the consent application. So the applicant, L.T. Jones, is requesting consent to sewer 722 square meters parcel of land with frontage on South Street, leaving a remnant parcel of approximately 3,941 square meters. The purpose of the proposed consent is to create a new residential building lot. The county's official plan designates the subject land as an urban area in the Schedule A. And the township official plan designates the subject land as low density residential in Schedule E. The relevant policies of county's official plan and the consent and low density residential policies of township's official plan were examined. And since the severance is proposed over an old plan of subdivision, it was discussed with the applicant that the solicitor would have to determine if a deeming bylaw is required to consolidate the subject lots. If so, the applicant will have to apply for a deeming bylaw to be passed by the council. The requirement has been added as a condition to the proposed severance, and the applicant is in agreement of that. The proposal was also circulated with County Building, Engineering, Public Works Division, and CSCA. And supportive comments have been obtained from all the departments and agencies. The proposed severance is within the urban settlement area of Odessa, which promotes increased density and intensification within the urban cores and settlement areas. The official plan envisions promoting residential development towards the urban cores within the settlement areas. Thus, staff is of the opinion that the proposed severance promotes increased density within the settlement area and is in conformity with the intent of both the county and township official plans. The severance is proposed, as I mentioned before, on an old plan of subdivision, and the neighborhood is already developed with low density residential properties. So the proposed severance to create a new residential lot is in keeping with other lots in that area. For this reasons, staff are of the opinion that the application meets the intent and purpose of the official plan. The subject land is zone residential type 1 R1 in township zoning bylaw. Both the general provisions and the zone specific provisions were reviewed, and upon the review of the proposed sketch prepared by Ontario Land Surveyor as a part of the application, the proposed severance complies with all the zoning provisions. And therefore, staff is of the opinion that the proposed severance is in conformity and compliance with the current zoning bylaw. All other matters can be addressed by conditions if approved. Again, the application has been circulated to all the internal departments and applicable agencies. As well, the notice of the public meeting was distributed in the prescribed fashion, which involves a personal notice by mail to all property owners within 120 meters and posted on the property. And at the time of writing the report, And as of today, no formal or written comment has been provided by any member of the public. So for this reason and all the reasons mentioned above, planning staff is of the opinion to approve the proposed planning application. Thank you.
Thank you. Committee, any questions for staff on this item? Seeing none, we'll go in chambers. Anyone in chambers wish to speak to this item, please come forward. Seeing none, go to the virtual audience. Anyone in the virtual audience that wishes to speak to this item, please use the raised hand feature and you can be brought into the meeting. No one there. Makes it easy. So with that, Mr. Broderick,
I'll move that we approve the application as noted in SR 2269 and accept the staff recommendation.
so moved, seconded by Mr. Ennis. Any comments from the mover?
No.
Seconder? Anyone else? Call the question. All those in favor, please raise a hand. Motion is passed. Application for sign by law minor variance at 95 Jack Davy Drive. Please proceed.
Through Mr. Chair, I will be also present in the application. So this variance is to permit signage on the east side of a building 3 as per the attached application sketch. This side of the building does not face a public thoroughfare. A request letter from the applicant and elevation drawings displaying the location of the proposed sign is also attached with the application. The proposed variance is appropriate due to building's location and design. It is also noted that all other requirements in terms of placement and size of the proposed signs comply with the sign bylaw. There are no concerns from an aesthetic or safety perspective. In addition, the signage placement will need to be incorporated into a sign plan amendment application, which will further allow staff to ensure appropriate placement. Therefore, the staff recommends approving the proposed variance from the sign bylaw of the township 2022-053. So, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Committee, any questions for staff on this item? Seeing none. Anyone in the audience wish to speak to this item? Please come forward. Seeing none, still nobody in the virtual? Okay. So with that, committee, we have the report with the recommendation. Mr. Boover, so moved, seconded by Mr. Ennis. Any comments from the mover, seconder? Anyone else? Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor, please raise a hand. Motion is passed. So the next meeting date that's set is for April 3rd, 2023. And with that, we'll call for adjournment. Moved by Mr. Budrick, seconded by Ms. Willis. No comments on that, I'm sure. Call the question. All those in favor, please raise a hand. Motion is passed. We are adjourned.